Yeah, right.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1583.
Wow.
July 23rd, 2025. This is why you flunked out of school.
My anniversary tomorrow.
105 degrees on this day in 1934. We've been talking about that year. She was a hot one. 47 degrees in 1876. Call Josh at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Sharon! Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning technology.
We don't even have that
Kenny
Ozzy
Olson
thing
from the
on
Krabby
this
Coffee
thing.
Shop.
It's a liner.
John Heidt in the newsroom. And of course,
I'm going to do this, Ken, just for you, Ken.
here's your flashlight.
I'm shutting their mics off.
Fireworks Commissioner and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne. Stay tuned for more Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne, and you're listening to Joe. No, one more time. Hi, this is Ozzy Osbourne, and you're listening to Joe.
Souchere.
You know, the mink, when he heard of Ozzy's death, said he didn't know whether to pray or paint a pentagram. I think when Ozzy got to the pearly gates, he said, you know that devil stuff?
Yeah.
I was just kidding. It was just a bit.
My bad.
It was just a bit.
He knew show business better than anybody. The man really knew show business well.
So I have a question about that, Ken. When they did the tribute show, when was that? 2 weeks ago? Something like that?
Something like that.
A couple Sundays ago, whenever that was.
I'll be honest, I didn't pay any attention to it.
I watched a little bit of that, but obviously everybody knew that Ozzy was not long for the world.
The roommate said it at the time. She goes, he's not going to be around much longer.
Because that's what I said when they propped him up. And again, I thought there were moments, and you guys ripped me, but I thought it was kind of cool, certain segments of it, and all the musicians that showed up to participate
How
in
about the last song he's ever sang, Chris?
Oh, Mom, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was cool.
Now back to the program.
Yeah. Enough Aussie talk. We've run the gamut here. Let's go. How low are the taxes?
Do you have the audio from yesterday? Ozzy became, for me, a real endearing character because of the reality TV show.
I remember when you started watching that.
To see this drug-addled hard rocker attempt to have a home life, I thought was hilarious. And communicating with his kid, and he clearly liked his family.
Yes.
But he was so destroyed by drugs that he was, hey, Jack, come here. Or he'd get lost going outside.
Here's what I thought, and I think I remember, I don't want to speak for you, but I think I remember you saying you enjoyed it, but then they started to just do things that you would think Ozzy would do. At first it was natural and innocent, but then I think it became a little forced.
It was good for about 6 episodes. And then it just...
I'd even say a season or two.
It got away from him.
According to Joe.
Yeah.
John, did you ever see Sabbath live?
No, never did.
Yeah, I saw him.
Let me ask you a serious question, because I'm not a Ozzy guy. When you go see Black Sabbath, are you... Is that kind of the headbanger music that you're looking for, or is it the sound, or is it the songs for not being funny or trying to be silly?
Are you asking me why I went? I went for the irony of it and because of the copious amounts of vitamin A that I had consumed.
Okay, so you weren't looking for a specific song.
I was
set.
looking for a laugh.
Okay, got it.
Did you get it?
And more.
He doesn't remember.
And more. Because it was Ozfest. So it was a day of
Do you
hilarity.
Do you have the audio from yesterday when our Governor Tim Walz was giving remarks from the Stone Arch Bridge? You recall you played those for us yesterday?
Yes. Give me a second.
And we said something to the effect that he's certainly handling that. He can handle that. Offsite correspondent Downing has a couple of observations today. And I want to start with that one because I happen to agree with what Downing heard when Cockwomble was giving his remarks about the. Give me the first. I'll read. No, let me read Downing first, and then we'll play Cockwomble. Kenny nailed it with his comment that the Stone Arch Bridge was built by a capitalist. Tim lauded the various government bodies for their infrastructure investment of our money that will lead people to biking and taking prom pictures. Hill, James J., made an infrastructure investment of his own money that led to jobs and a booming economy. Now, here's what Tim said. I thought that's what we were going to get.
Hey, everybody. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz standing here on one of the most iconic places in America, the Stone Arch Bridge over the Mississippi River at St. Anthony Falls, and the beautiful skyline of the city of Minneapolis behind us. State of Minnesota, our federal partners, local parks boards, everybody invested in rehabilitating this nearly 150-year-old bridge. This will have hundreds of thousands of people walking, running, biking, enjoying themselves out here, taking engagement photos, prom pictures, and everything. This is the type of infrastructure investment that leads to the next generation having the opportunities we've all had to enjoy this great city. So for the rest of you out there, if you've not been out here to Minneapolis, I don't know what you've been doing, but now get out here, get down to the Stone Arch Bridge, spend some money in downtown Minneapolis, and enjoy what this incredible city offers.
Thank you, Tim. Downing also notes he's got a great cartoon bubble about the government-run grocery store, which seems inevitable with these socialists in Minneapolis and St. Paul.
In the wake of Cub deciding they're going to close?
He says, I'm thinking it'll open at 9 and close at 4, Monday through Friday. Closed on MLK Day, President's Day, Juneteenth, Indigenous Peoples Day, etc. First thing you do when you come in the door is take a number. That's about what it'll be. It'll never be open.
It'll be a government-run grocery store where everybody works from home.
Oh, God help us.
Regarding the funding of the refurbishment
of the bridge?
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a combination of federal and state sources. The project received $12 million in federal funding, $2 million in state funding. Additionally, the bridge previously received $1 million in state funding from a previous session, bringing the total funding to $15 million.
The federal funding and the state funding is all you.
Correct.
The federal government does not have any money. The Tim Walz government does not have any money. The money they've taken from you, only $1 billion so far has been lost to fraud, which continues to be,
which is mounting?
Got a tote board, a number that goes up by the second, Chris.
Did anyone see Jay Coles talking to acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson?
Not yet, but the headlines are intriguing. I was hoping you were going to play some of it today or call Jay.
Well, here's Thompson. It's meaning the fraud. It's an extraordinary problem. The fraud is pervasive in this state. Neither Coles nor Thompson mentioned our scandal tracker. This is from the American Experiment. They mentioned many of the specific items we've been tracking in a total already at nearly 2/3 of $1 billion. A final accounting for Just Feeding Our Future, Autism Clinic, and Housing Stabilization Service scandals will each add over $100 million to the total, pushing the amount lost to fraud under Walz over the $1 billion mark. We also know that the feds are actively investigating fraud with the adult daycare state program. When Thompson was asked by Jay Coles if things were getting better, Thompson replied, I'm not prepared to say that. Now, I made a mistake yesterday, and we're fact-based, and I want to clear it up.
Okay.
In mentioning the conviction of another food fraudster, the fellow from Mankato, Assad Mohamed Abshir, I said he was slated to go to trial in August. He was living in Mankato when he was charged. He's the 48th conviction out of 72 defendants charged since 2022. This guilty plea is another step in exposing the staggering levels of fraud that have been hiding in plain sight across Minnesota. This is from today's Star Tribune. Acting U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson said, I said yesterday that Abshir and his brother, Abdi Nasser Abshir, had claimed to feed 1 million kids. I was wrong. I'm sorry.
Okay.
1.6 million.
You underestimated their
exaggeration. Yeah.
1.6 million meals were provided in 2020 and 2021 at a food distribution site in Mankato through a nonprofit called Stigma Free International, which was overseen by Feeding Our Future. Abdinasar Abshar, who was also accused of witness tampering in the trial earlier this year, simultaneously said he provided food through another entity, Horse Seed Management, LLC. I wouldn't want any food from Horse Seed Management.
Yeah, not a good name.
Well, what is that? And the brother, Abdinasar Abshar, pleaded guilty to wire fraud in March. Now, Abdinasar's the brother. He paid Assad, his brother, $750. Abdinasar paid his brother $750,000 he received in the scheme, a portion of which Assad used to purchase a 2022 GMC Sierra truck. The vehicle has been seized and will be forfeited. Okay, but I'm sorry, I undercut them.
Yeah.
They provided 1.6 million, and I'm coming full circle. To believe that, yes, people still involved in various state departments had to have been a part of this. We can't believe that our state employees are so stupid that they bought the idea that 1.6 million kids in Mankato were getting fed.
If that's the case,
because if that's the case, Omar Fateh is the least of our problems.
Yeah.
We have people with jobs at the Minnesota Department of Education and Department of Human Services, and they see these numbers, and they kept writing the checks. Come on, they're involved. However, allegedly, I'm now claiming they're involved.
So are you saying there was kickback?
Well, I don't know. All I know is it's impossible for me to believe that even, John Smith, the third assistant clerk who gets this request placed on his desk, and it says, we owe these people in Mankato some money. They have fed 1.6 million children. It's impossible for me to believe he would not have questioned that.
Do you perceive any outrage from the workaday public?
No, I don't.
Do you think it can't be because they don't know about it, right?
Oh, they know about it.
When you said that he paid his brother, what did you say?
$750,000.
That makes me so PO'd. My head almost exploded. Mm-hmm. All of us that have been working our asses off all our life and we're still living paycheck to paycheck. And these jackasses come in and pull this nonsense. Where's the outrage? How come us five are the only people outraged, and Alpha and American Experiment? Where's the outrage?
Because anyone named Abdinasar Abshir will accuse you of racism. If
I don't
Islamophobia.
I don't give a shit anymore.
No, I know. Either do I.
The people within the government. If I was, and I don't care if I was making $50,000 or $150,000. If I saw this, I wouldn't shut up until I was fired or run out of there. I would be so angry about this.
So then what is happening? Because they didn't do that.
That's why we absolutely have to consider the fact that there was kickback. Where's the rage within the government?
And the whole Walls outfit needs to be just vacuumed out of there. And you got to start over.
It's almost like we need a crystal ball. Gentlemen, may I take you to Kansas City, Missouri? A lovely place.
I've been there many times.
I'd like to introduce you to Alyssa Jackson. She is a news reporter for KSHB, Action 41 Team News in Kansas City, talking about city-funded grocery store that has absolutely failed already.
It's clear this Sunfresh at 31st and Prospect is struggling. This is the first section people see when they come in. There's barely any produce. A lot of the coolers and shelves around the store look the same way, empty. So shoppers have been asking us, if the store isn't closing, then where's all the food? A rotten smell comes through the door, and anywhere you turn, you'll see products that need to be restocked. No hot food or deli.
I watch people walk in and walk out.
The grocery store has received financial assistance from the city, but has been unable to keep those shelves stocked in an area that in the past has often been referred to as a food desert.
Around here, a good thing don't last too long.
And it will impact a lot of people and a lot of families.
The city owns the Linwood Shopping Center. A nonprofit operates the grocery store.
The mystery turn.
I mean, if you see the video, and I'll post it, there's nothing on the shelves.
The mystery assigns tasks to people who have no idea how to do them. So
that's a bad combination.
If you end up with a city-owned grocery store in St. Paul and Minneapolis, you're going to end up with a grocery store that will not function properly. It will not serve its needs.
How are they going to steal from that city-owned grocery store if it doesn't have any produce, like they have been doing from the Cub Food store on?
Here's what you're going to get. We closed. We ought to meet.
We ought to meet.
A question for you, Joe. You mentioned the governor being held accountable for this.
He never has been.
And you know what? Let's say this happened in the private sector, and it wasn't even $1 billion or almost $1 billion. Say it was just $250,000. What would happen to the CEO of even a public or privately held company? What would happen to him and his underlings? They'd be gone, and they wouldn't get another job.
Toast.
Men of Garage Logic, we live in a state where a convicted felon named Nicole Mitchell not only held on to her seat all year because her brothers and sisters in the party needed her vote. She's now telling us she'll resign.
She's dictating to us.
She's going to give us a 2-week notice because that would mean another paycheck, presumably. We live in a state where the third rail is so protected and so insulated that they don't suffer consequences, and they tell us what's going to happen.
I like the word dictate more than tells, because she's dictating to when she's going to be done. And she's no dummy.
And I would not, this woman has really displayed a complete absence of character, which is a shame, but it's just a complete absence of character. And she should have resigned effective immediately. She shouldn't even have served her last term.
In the interest of self-preservation, she should have done that, because you know another DFL, it's like Kelleher or somebody, another DFL outfit's going to pick her, or would have, but now she's so far gone that she's trash.
What's the word I'm thinking of?
Nepotism?
No, she was blanked. She was blanked by her peers.
Chosen?
Blackballed?
When she was enabled.
Okay.
She was enabled to get away with her lack of character by the similar peer group who also have no character and really don't care about the people in Minnesota who pay the bills. They said, we need her vote. Let's just continue to hug her and dry her tears and comfort her, and we'll get through this, and then we'll cut her loose once she's done with the trial.
Unreal.
But that's not even working, because this woman, with her complete absence of character, is telling us when she'll leave.
Do they have pay periods? Is she quitting at the end of a pay period? Maybe that's what she's doing.
Well, okay, no joke, but wasn't one of the things, was it Hauser that told us this, that she was trying to wait because of benefits, right? Remember that? Because of benefits for whether it was health care coverage.
I'm sure the third rail pays less for their health insurance than we do.
Fair.
Yeah, and where's the outrage over that? I mean, seriously. Where's the outrage? Isn't that a song? Where's the outrage?
I think you just invented
I think Ozzy's song.
I think it's an Ozzy song.
Yeah, he's saying that. He was overrated.
Say, if you're like me and many other people, you might not know what to do if you're ever injured in an accident. Here's what I do. I make sure I got the insurance card at least.
You see?
Okay, then I need Bradshaw and Bryant to take it from there. Because I don't want to deal with the hassles because maybe I'd be easily flummoxed.
Yes, you would be.
Insurance companies and adjusters can be tough to deal with, so having someone on your side is important. Mike Bryant from Bradshaw and Bryant and his team will explain your rights, represent you, get you through a tough time. For 6 consecutive years, Mike Bryant has been recognized as a super lawyer. He's been named among Minnesota's top 40 personal injury lawyers by Minnesota Law and Politics. Bradshaw and Bryant hopes you're never in an accident, but if you are, call Bradshaw and Bryant at 800-770-7008 or go to minnesotapersonalinjury.com. You'll get a free case evaluation. And Bradshaw and Bryant says, please don't be a part of the problem. Don't text and drive or drive distracted. That's just common sense from Bradshaw and Bryant.
Reavers here once again for my guy, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold. Does thinking about retirement make you uncomfortable? Well, sometimes the anxiety from wondering if you've saved enough can be overwhelming. But what if I told you that you could ease those tensions in just 48 minutes? Well, Mr. Money Talk is going to be able to sit down with you and get you on the right track for your financial future. Josh has navigated it all when it comes to uncertain market and economic conditions, and he'll always provide straight talk, never sugar-coated advice on how to reach the finish line with your retirement goals. Don't let your financial worries give you an ulcer or keep you from calling Josh right now. His 48-minute, no-obligation consultation could be just what you need to feel better about your future. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608 and set up your free 48-minute, no-obligation consultation. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Even the flashlight king remarked off the air that this humidity is really something, man.
Oh, I like it, though.
I'm sure you do, of course. This rain, the heat, the humidity, it's the peak of the bug season, which is actually... I enjoy it with Bugs Be Gone in my armory. If you know, you know. If you've stocked in a supply of Bugs Be Gone from Seafoam, you know what I'm talking about. It works very fast to move bugs, organic crud, whatever that goo is that you collect when you park under certain trees, takes care of that too. Algae, mildew, road grime, Bugs Be Gone takes care of all of it.
Can I tell you what else it will get rid of?
What have you tried?
I find that when we have periods of that heavy smoke intrusion, that leaves a grit
film
on the windshield and the paint.
Yeah. And Bugs Be Gone will work on that. All surfaces, glass, fiberglass, gel coating, it doesn't matter. You name it. It's a great pre-wash if you're sitting there waiting for your turn in the car wash. It works there. Just blast your windshield and roll in. And GLers, you guys have been finding it in big box stores. But here's the key. If you don't feel like driving around and looking for it, go to seafoamworks.com. Click on the products tab. That's at the upper right-hand side of the page, and scroll down to Bugs Be Gone, and voila, you can order it online. May as well order a couple, 2-3 bottles, spray bottles, because you're going to need them, and you're going to want to spread the word, the gospel according to Bugs Be Gone, and give a few to friends and family. Again, that's seafoamworks.com. Yet another fantastic product from our very own Seafoam.
Yesterday, I beseeched the state's largest newspaper, the Star Tribune, to assign somebody to do nothing except find out who Omar Fateh is, why he's here, and why did he so instantly get a series of make-work jobs.
Give yourself credit. You asked for Dina Winter to do that job, and she delivered.
Well, and today, the top 2 pieces in the Star Tribune are pieces by her. And it's a start. I'm not indicting her. It's a start, but it's It's just a review of everything we already knew about it.
Right.
Yeah.
There's nothing. When I mean get to the bottom, I mean, we got to do Woodward and Bernstein here. We got to find, some friends told him that Minneapolis was fertile ground with politics. Okay, what friends? How do they know that? Who are they connected to? Why does a guy just suddenly show up here having accomplished absolutely nothing and then suddenly be given all of these jobs involved in the food fraud, however peripherally or not peripherally, gave a speech to the food fraud operatives when they presumably won a court case against the Minnesota Department of Education. He found it immoral that the fraudsters were not getting paid. Now, he'll claim he didn't know it was a fraud. But when you're feeding 1.6 million kids at the corner grocery store,
it's a lot of PB&Js.
Grow up, Abdul, or whatever the hell your name is, Omar. But I'm appreciative that they're on this. You got to stop that thing, whatever it is, Matt. I'm appreciative that they're doing this, but I'm hoping for more. I'm hoping for a real deep dive into exactly what's going on here. Because how do you get here and then suddenly you're a mayoral candidate in a once highly functioning major metropolitan city in this country. And here you have a complete nobody that has no history with this city, no identity with this town, no identity with Minnesota, nothing. American citizen, born in Washington. I'm not saying he's not an American. He's an American. But he knows nothing about Minnesota.
He's an outsider, right?
He's an outsider. Now, we've had many outsiders who come here for political. Norm Coleman was from New York.
Jay Beninoff.
Fry is from Virginia. I mean, it's not unusual, but it's it's not even unusual when it comes to mayor because Fry's the mayor. Where in the hell are the local people who grew up here and are GLers? Are they gone?
The governor isn't from here.
The governor's
either.
from
Nebraska,
Oz or someplace. Who are these people?
Where are they at?
And now Fateh Omar. I just thought I'd read a little bit. He's an avowed Democratic socialist. I'm not making that up. This is not the charge of some crackpot podcast host. He's an avowed Democratic socialist. It was the Democratic socialists who drove home his endorsement on behalf of the DFL. He's going to work with the Democratic Socialist City Council. I have told you before, you can go on your own and read the entire Democratic Socialist political platform. It's available to be found on the Google. Just Google Democratic. Here's what I Googled: DSA political platform. I just want you to read you. I could read you from any number of 20 pages of this platform.
I'm already depressed enough the way it is.
Well, let me read this part. We fight for the abolition of capitalism and the creation of a democratically run economy that provides for people's needs. Our demands: social ownership and democratic control of utilities and key industries, including railroads, water, gas, electric, telecommunications, media, internet service providers, and other critical sectors of the economy through direct government support, public banks, and pension funds at every level of government. Nationalize and bring under public ownership through federal majority ownership with worker, tribal, state, and municipal equity, railroad infrastructure and operations. Nationalize and bring under public ownership through worker and community ownership and control institutions of monetary policy, insurance, real estate, and finance. Ensure that employees have the right to purchase businesses and are able to secure funding to facilitate their cooperative ownership in the event of a sale or closure. bring under public ownership and develop in-house alternatives to major vendors that provide essential equipment and contracting services to public agencies such as manufacturing transformers, railroad and public transit fleets, lithium-ion batteries, and providing infrastructure planning, engineering, and construction services. Okay, that's under we fight for the abolition of capitalism. It sounds to me like controlling the means of production.
It sure does.
Yeah.
Well, it is.
I mean, here's some of the headlines of the platform, and I won't bore you by reading the demands. Ensure public control of communications technology.
By public control, they mean government control.
Right. Protect and expand social insurance and pensions. An expanded U.S. Postal Service. Well, okay.
Which is failing.
I'm a big Postal Service fan, but I don't know how you're going to pull that off. Gender and sexuality, justice, many demands under that.
Somebody should ask him how he feels about trans rights.
Well,
be interesting, or gay rights.
Great big steak dinner for wherever one of you gets him to come on the show.
Which guy? The
Omar Fateh.
Fateh.
Yeah,
it'd be fun to hear.
No holds barred and steak.
No, biggest one you want.
You're not going to go to the same place we went to last.
No.
Okay, good.
Do we know what his stances are on gay rights? In fact, given that he's Muslim,
I would love to have Omar as a guest. And
which one? Which Omar?
Omar Fateh. And I'm just reading you headlines from the platform, and it's all up to you to read it your own. Green New Deal. Capitalism has created an existential crisis for humanity, so we need to end that and get rid of anything that's carbon intensive. I'm just scamming. That was almost a Freudian slip, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
I'm just scanning the demands. Democratize control over major energy systems and resources. Nationalize the fuel producers. Bring into public ownership privately owned freight railroads. Okay, they really love the railroads. I think we have a railroad in our future. I think we see Europe in our future as a country of trains. Okay.
It's interesting that the largest railroad in the United States is owned by a capitalist.
Yeah. Demilitarize, decolonize, and strive for a future of international solidarity and cooperation toward global climate justice. Reinvent our communities to serve people and the planet, not profit. Ensure land and resources are prioritized for building resilient communities and ecosystems for the many, not the few. Because if you're white, you're the few.
I translate that into them taking our private property for their use.
I can find that in here, Kenny.
Yeah.
Housing for all.
Yeah. On property that once was privately owned.
Cease sale of housing to private interests.
Wait a minute. You didn't just read that. That came from you, right?
Cease sale of public housing assets to private interests.
Oh, all right. That's
fully fund existing public housing.
What does that mean?
Create and fund a social housing acquisition fund that can intervene and acquire distressed assets and convert them to social housing using community land trusts, tenant opportunity to purchase, mutual housing associations.
Let's not dance around it. Social housing, you know what that is, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the ghetto.
Mm-hmm.
That they're going to bring the ghetto to your neighborhood.
Is that like a hostel?
That's what. No, that's
hostel?
what. No, it's what public housing is. Go find the public housing around the Twin Cities. Tell me what you think of those neighborhoods.
End homelessness in the U.S. by implementing housing first relief programs. Okay, but are they willing to address why people are homeless? They're drug addicts.
Are they doing anything for the homeless today, right now?
Of course not. Work to address, cease, and heal the harm caused by our ruling class. Only by listening to and aligning with those directly targeted by these policies can we begin to work toward a unified global vision of socialism and international working class solidarity. These are people who want to unravel the U.S. and turn it into Denmark, although they're wrong because Denmark is not necessarily socialist.
Well,
and not only that, but Denmark could fit about the size of Wisconsin. So we're too big. I don't know how big Denmark is, but it's too big to pull this off.
You mentioned the ruling class.
Yeah.
They are the ruling class, at least in this state.
Sure are around here.
Do you still have Dina's piece in front of you?
Yeah.
I want you to talk about the last two items on her piece. It's after the jump. One headline is he was embroiled in election fraud probe. I think that's worth looking at. And then the last one, he supported feeding our future until raids began. I think those two they're worthy of discussion. Very last items in the piece. There you go, right down there.
Oh, wait a minute.
It's under the photo. Yeah, I think your hand is almost on it.
See Fateh on A6. Here's A6. Where's the jump story?
You at the jump?
It ain't on A6.
He was embroiled in an election fraud probe. Federal investigators looked into voter fraud allegations in Fateh's 2020 primary election, and in 2022 charged Fateh's brother-in-law and campaign volunteer, Muse Mohammed, with lying to federal grand juries about Mohammed's handling of absentee ballots during the campaign.
Yeah, we had that yesterday.
We also had yesterday, and I think it's worth repeating today, he supported feeding our future until raids began. This, we should hammer on this every day. He defended the nonprofit at the center for what became a massive pandemic relief fraud, feeding our future, until the federal raids began.
And he believed that the stopping of the payments was immoral. To him, immorality was his fraudsters couldn't continue to function until they resumed getting their checks.
The only thing I'm disappointed in with Dina is that's very last, where people seldom follow the jump when that should have been. Those two items should have been first.
I don't know her. I don't know what the plans are for the paper to continue on this. This was just a nice beginning, but again, this is going to require some extensive work. And for all I know, although I find this hard to believe about if we go all the way up to Glenn Taylor, the owner, I find it hard to believe that the paper would wish to be accommodating to a socialist takeover of the city, because that would be a de facto socialist takeover of the newspaper and result in state control of the media. I would think they would be fighting this tooth and nail.
But they're cozy arm in arm with the walls right now. I mean, they're hugging each other, hugging it out.
And they've been leaning left for how many years now?
There's leaning left
Forever.
and going off the deep end.
But you can't upset your base, is I guess the point I was trying to make. Right?
Their base leans left, but they're still a functioning newspaper with news in it. Now they are.
They are. Yeah.
Weren't we talking about this on MNST on Monday? The sports page had 2 pages.
Well, that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm saying from a functioning standpoint.
It's a 4 pages, by the way.
Okay, but my point is they're hemorrhaging right now.
Well, hello, we don't even have a bleeping building, much
Where's
less
the party?
hemorrhaging.
They're going to be okay.
Papers are dead. Fulda just lost its weekly after 100 years.
All right.
3 of them went down? Or 4
They're
of
all
them?
going down. Yeah. And, I meant to say this. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, Joe.
A little lightning bolt went off in my head.
Let's go.
And that hurt when that happened.
I know. You got to hit the button.
Much of what has happened to city governments in Minneapolis and St. Paul, not to mention the closer you get to the country's other tallest buildings, much of what happened, and what's going to happen is directly proportional to the decline of newspapers. That's a hill I'll die on. No, Melvin Carter, I know this in my heart, could not have gotten away with this meaningless 23-person cabinet he has, or however many we're up to, with their meaningless job titles, if there was a 6-person bureau at the City Hall run by the Pioneer Press. It would not have happened.
Which you mocked when it was only 16 people.
I have an analogy. A couple of years ago, my son had a raucous house party that went to early morning hours with live bands. Dad asked the kid, "Aren't you worried about the cops showing up?" To which the kid said, "The cops? Come on. There ain't no cops to watch out for this kind of thing." And that's exactly, you're right. That's exactly what's happening with the lack of newspapers.
No cop, no stop.
Yep.
Amen to that, brother.
Now, to round out this thought, newspapers themselves have undeniably attracted to their fold people who tend to be left-leaning. So there is that to deal with. But if you go back 50 years, that might even have been true. But what also was true was that the newspaper still held on to a valiant notion of being a check on things. They held on to a very strong idea that there was a place for them in society, and their place was to provide a place where the buck stopped. We're here to examine this. We're here to bring truth. You can't get away with this. That's why I say the degradation of the Twin Cities is directly proportional to the decline of newspapers. And no one's going to change my mind. It's just that's the way it's been.
Well, there's so many other factors that are leading. We're not talking about the factors that have led to the decline of the newspaper, the internet. The fact that people don't have attention spans anymore. I mentioned a lot of people don't follow the jump. Well, when you get it on the internet, you read, we give reavers shit about just reading the headlines, but that's the way society is now.
The people who own newspapers were slow to realize what was happening. They were not unlike the Detroit auto manufacturing sector in the early 70s. They didn't see a big wind change coming, and they were caught behind, and that's happened in newspapers. They were caught sleeping.
Really got caught.
They were caught sleeping. They all of a sudden this new world of social media just enveloped them, and it was too late for them to fight back.
Well, and I think in their defense, they thought newspapers have been around 100 years. How fast are they going to go away? People want to see and feel that newspaper. And the 25-year-old kid said, I don't give a crap about
Tell that to Sears. How many businesses have failed due to the internet?
Yeah.
Well, I've told you before, one of the greatest newspaper markets in the country is Naples, Florida. Why? Because everybody's 75 years old.
Everyone's 100 years old.
100?
New York isn't a great newspaper market. Chicago is no longer a great newspaper market.
Except in the garment district.
I make a nice living.
I'm comfortable.
How many did they had 3 dailies in Chicago.
Oh,
did they
God, you want to go back far enough? They had 7.
Hey, Chicago, how many newspapers you got? I got 3. Why?
I don't know. The Chronicle, the Observer,
Sun-Times,
and
Tribune.
the Times,
I guess the
what
best.
do you got?
Well, the best message I can tell you about your garage door is get everything taken care of before winter. Particularly a new door. Precision Door Minnesota will provide you a new door in addition to their regular service calls, which fix anything that might have gone on the fritz. They serve western Wisconsin, the entire metro. They don't charge more for weekend visits. It's Precision Door MN, and right now they have a deal for GLers. They have models of doors for every budget, and GLers are getting $100 off a single door, $200 off a double door. They got a garage door designer, comes out to the place, sit on the ledge there and shoot the breeze and figure this out. Pick the garage door that'll best suit your aesthetics. You can do that online at precisiondoormn.com. That's one word, precisiondoormn.com. or call Precision Door, either for a new door consultation or routine service appointment. Call Precision Door at 612-263-6985.
Hey, GLers, it's Reavers here once again for my friends at North American Banking Company. You know, I'm really glad that I made the switch and got to know my friends at North American Banking Company because it's banking done differently. It truly, truly is. They take the time to get to know you, your family, your budgetary needs, and in some cases, whether you're looking to improve your business. Check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. When you walk into any one of their 6 beautiful Twin Cities locations, you immediately feel the difference. It's Roseville, 50th and France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and Maple Grove. They offer all of the services as the other big national banks. Whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, or get that new car that you've been thinking about, my friends at North American Banking Company are going to be able to help you out. They offer the same online and mobile banking options as the other banks, but the key difference is you're going to get the unparalleled service of a community bank. Locally owned and operated, and that means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So once again, check them out online. It's nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Here's
John, folks.
Here's John Heidt.
Thank you very much, Joe. This news update is brought to you by North American Banking Company. An arrest in the June shooting of an 11-year-old in Minneapolis. Minneapolis police announcing they arrested a 16-year-old boy in connection with the murder of 11-year-old Amir Lamar Atkins. The teen was arrested yesterday in Apple Valley. We did this story extensively when it happened. Gunfire erupting at Falwell Park on Dowling Avenue North in Minneapolis, June 23rd. Authorities say the 11-year-old was inside a moving car when someone from another vehicle opened fire. Family members say Amir and his 15-year-old brother Keontae had gone to the park to hang out with friends. Charlie Zell, the chair of the Metropolitan Council, is retiring. He'll leave his position on September 10th. Zell was appointed as the chair of the Met Council in January 2020. He had also served as the chairman of Jefferson Lines and previously was the president and CEO of that bus company for more than 20 years.
The Jeff.
In 2012, Zell was appointed the commissioner of the Minnesota Department of Transportation, overseeing the large state agency. Governor Walz announced Zell's retirement yesterday. The governor saying his accomplishments while the Met Council chair include the approval of Imagine 2050, funding and scheduling for the Green Line expansion, and securing the largest investment in transit infrastructure from the legislature. However, while Met Council chair, he's also been at the center of that long battle for building and funding of the Southwest Light Rail. In April, a years-long audit of the construction of the embattled Southwest Light Rail line concluded the Met Council had issues with non-compliance and a lack of internal controls managing the project. It's now expected to cost taxpayers $2.86 billion. An interim chair for the Met Council has not been named yet, but the governor's office's plans will be determined over the coming months and will provide updates as decisions are made.
Nobody gets embarrassed that they're such idiots.
I have a question related to this young man. Did you ever ride the Jeff?
No, but if I did.
You did.
It would have been that one.
Oh, come on.
Wait, is that Southwest?
That was Southwest, but it's still the joke fish.
The Jeff will take you there, down to Winona.
Anyway.
There'll be a new...
Are you embarrassed about that, Joe? You should be.
No. Not at all.
Hey, dummy, you forgot the horn.
Thank you.
There'll be a new reward for submitting tips to the Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office. It's a step that state officials hope will bring resolution to outstanding cases and provide closure for families. In Minnesota last year, 716 Indigenous people were reported missing. And while they make up less than 1% of the state's population, 10% of missing women in Minnesota are Indigenous. The reward fund account was established during the 2022-2023 legislative session, aims to bring justice for those who are still missing. People who bring tips that help advance long-term investigations could be eligible for financial rewards of up to $10,000. That fund is also meant to support community awareness and prevention initiatives. And a story you alluded to earlier, Joe, attorneys in the burglary case of outgoing Minnesota State Senator Nicole Mitchell have set a date for her sentencing after the jury convicted her on both felony accounts. We now know that Mitchell will be sentenced September 10th, according to filings made yesterday in Becker County District Court. On Monday, her attorneys announced Mitchell is planning to resign from her seat soon. Setting up
She'll let us know, John?
Yeah. She'll let it. Don't worry. We're in the loop. That'll set up a special election that'll determine who controls the Minnesota Senate. She was found guilty last Friday of first-degree burglary and felony possession of burglary tools after her 2024 arrest for breaking into her stepmother's home in Detroit Lakes. Dane DeCray, one of her defense attorneys with the Moorhead-based Ringstrom DeCray law firm, said her conviction carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 6 months in jail. DeCray said it'll be up to the judge to ultimately decide. She will wrap up her work at the legislature sometime over the next 2 weeks before she resigns.
Let us know, John.
Governor Walz is expected to call a special election once she
I'd give her 50 years.
Turns in.
At least.
50 years in prison, don't you think?
Resignation.
I mean, she had the crowbar right there.
Right. I mean, she did a bad job at it. She wasn't good at it.
When she gets out of prison in 50 years, if we're still doing the show, she'll have to attend the Gumption County
Institute for
the Criminally Incompetent.
She'll have to do the specialty course on how to dress. Overnight burglaries.
I really hope we are doing the show, and I bet if we went to the Bob Dylan concert, we'd be in the special section.
I hope we're not 50 years from now.
I don't we take a quick break now and hear from our friend, the Rookie.
Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota Masonic has done so much over the years, and I really would like for you to check out mnmasoniccharities.org. For scholarships, I'd like you to check out their website and see exactly what they have done. They have donated over the years millions and millions of dollars. And remember, they have a wonderful scholarship program that not only you just apply for and you get the scholarship, if you apply for it and you're explaining to someone how great they are, well, both of you could possibly reap the benefits. They've done so much over the years for old people at their end of life, for children's and their communications, if they have disabilities there. I want you to go to their website, mnmasoniccharities.org, and learn more. You'd be very surprised that some of the terms that we use in today's society, well, they come from the Freemasons. And there's a whole bunch of Freemasons throughout the state of Minnesota, and they want you to know exactly what they're doing. And you can learn more about a little bit of everything. Freemasons do a wonderful job. And also, I want to get the word out that there's Freemasons out there want you to know what they're doing. How do you get informed? If you have questions about that, you can call them, 952-948-6200. But why waste the time on the phone? Just go to their website, mnmasoniccharities.org. That's mnmasoniccharities.org. In 2006, they started the Charities of Minnesota Masonry combined to create one umbrella organization, Minnesota Masonic Charities, a mission to promote greater levels of philanthropy. And of course, common sense prevails. mnmasoniccharities.org.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
We have lots of... yeah.
Hi, John.
We thought you were frozen, John.
No, I'm not frozen.
Okay.
Lots of tariff news today, some good, some bad. General Motors says the new tariffs on imported cars and auto parts took a $1.1 billion bite out of its bottom line. The company reported net income shrank 35% in the second quarter as President Trump's automotive tariffs weighed in on the company. GM, the largest automaker in the U.S. by sales, had already lowered its earlier profit guidance for 2025 because of the possible tariffs. Now the company says greater impacts from tariffs are expected to hit the car maker in the third quarter, although it says it will maintain its profit guidance for the full year. Speaking of tariffs, President Trump says that the U.S. has concluded a trade deal with the Philippines that includes a 19% tariff on goods imported from the Southeast Asian country. Manila will not impose tariffs on U.S. goods as part of the deal, according to Trump. The Philippines has yet to confirm that a deal has been struck. And the president also announced a trade framework with Japan yesterday, placing a 15% tax on goods imported from that nation. The president said Japan would invest at his direction $550 billion into the U.S. and would open its economy to American autos and rice. The 15% tax on imported Japanese goods is a meaningful drop from the 25% rate that the president, in a recent letter to Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba, said would be levied starting August 1st. Early today, Ishiba acknowledged the new trade agreement, saying it would benefit both sides and help them to work together.
Did you guys see the viral video of the gentleman that bought his wife a T-shirt that says tariff on it?
No.
And she said, well, what's this for? It's like, because you cost me way more than you're worth.
Really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really good idea.
Yeah.
Great idea, bud.
Joe, what's your recommendation? You have any advice on something?
You got a
like
ruling
that?
on that one?
I wouldn't
Mr.
buy
Mayor?
such a shirt.
I notice you're not even laughing at
No.
something.
No, it's terrible.
It's
Why would you
danger.
do something like
Well,
that?
Royce said, if I
Oh,
die
God.
from a fall, you'll know it's because I tripped over Amazon boxes.
Yes, yes.
Right by the staircase.
In other news, literally, and I hate using that word as much as you guys do, hundreds of tributes poured in yesterday after the death of Ozzy Osbourne. Heavy metal musicians, members of Metallica, Rob Zombie, other heavyweights in the rock field like Elton John, Rod Stewart, Ronnie Wood, surviving members of Nirvana, Alice Cooper, other pop stars, rappers, Pat Boone, comedians, and even the group PETA, who Osbourne did several ad campaigns for, posting tributes to the so-called Prince of Darkness.
Pat Boone?
Pat Boone, he was his neighbor. They lived by each other.
Okay.
Those tributes pointed
Wow.
to...
That is strange.
Just picture them at like a backyard barbecue.
Yeah.
God,
There's some pictures
cool.
of them online that are... They
Where
look like they're
were they
having
neighbors?
fun.
L.A.?
That I do not know, but yeah, I would guess, yes. 'cause
Oh,
Ozzy
wow.
lived last
Fun.
part of his life in L.A. Those tributes pointed to traits that would go against the Prince of Darkness nickname, with those that met him talking about his kindness, gentleness, great sense of humor, and bellowing laugh. Ozzy and his band Black Sabbath helped create pretty much the heavy metal genre and laid the template for that style of music. He had been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease about 6 years ago. His death comes just 17 days after he performed his final show in Birmingham, England, alongside his Black Sabbath bandmates at the Back to the Beginning benefit concert. That concert raised $190 million for various charities.
Wow.
A statement from his family said Ozzy was surrounded by loved ones when he died. He was 76 years old. Fellas, here's your quiz for the day. Give me the Minnesota connection to their early career. Black
All right.
Sabbath.
Semisonic.
Nope.
I give up.
It involves a song. Does that help any?
Mr.
We're going
Crowley?
to win, twins.
He did an incredible, they did, cool version of Evil Woman by Minneapolis's Crow.
Yeah.
Remember Crow had a big hit with Evil Woman?
Yeah.
Black Sabbath covered it wonderfully. No, not that Evil Woman. That's E.L.O. Rook.
Oh. I would love to hear
even that
Ozzy
gets-
cover Evil Woman. I didn't know that.
It's excellent, yeah.
Wouldn't it be great
Chris-
if we could play music?
Chris
Yeah.
can find it for you during a break. It's
Yeah.
a real straight reading.
Evil Woman don't.
That's the one. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Geezer plays a wonderful interlude on bass, and then Tony Iommi's guitar solo.
Is there a lot of humming in it?
Is John talking softly today, or just
yeah,
my
maybe
ears?
I was there. How's this? Is this better?
Better, yes.
I wasn't up against my mic.
Well, I
there.
think you should be.
Okay, now I am.
Yeah.
How's that
Well,
sound?
he was loud enough to chastise me on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's ELO rookie.
Got it. I got it now.
Yeah. It worked out for Trey Parker and Matt Stone. They're the creators of the animated series South Park.
Boy, I'll say it did.
The LA Times reporting they've reached a groundbreaking 5-year deal with Paramount for the global streaming rights for the series, valued at $300 million per year. So that means $1.5 billion for the streaming rights to South Park.
Here we go. He's going to find the button.
Let's see what I got here.
And he's going to stick it over there.
I got a fever.
Yeah, that button works.
And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Yeah.
So what does that mean, the streaming rights?
That means you'll be able to watch it on Paramount channels.
Okay.
And that's all, nothing else.
And are they still making South Park?
They
or is that...
Well, yes. In fact, as a matter of fact, thank you, Rook.
I didn't mean to get forward, Johnny.
All the negotiations were going on. The South Park Season 27 premiere was delayed by 2 weeks to July 23rd. In response, the official South Park Twitter account released a statement from Parker and Stone saying, "This merger is a bleep show and it's bleeping up South Park." The deal wrote in response to a press release from Comedy Central about the change in the premiere date. The new deal with Parker and Stone's Park Country production company would bring regular South Park episodes to Paramount Plus in the U.S. for the first time, marking a major strategic shift for the long-running animated satirical program. Warner Brothers Discovery's HBO Max had previously maintained the exclusive streaming rights to the series, although Paramount Plus has aired several South Park event specials. The HBO Max deal expired last month.
How does Paramount get their money back? If you're watching it, will there be commercials?
Well, they get money either from subscribers, number one, and number two, I'm sure there's a level of Paramount where, yes, they show commercials.
I see.
I have a 3-part question now since you just introduced that nugget. Rook, what did you think that meant by streaming rights? Out of curiosity, because you asked the question.
I had absolutely no idea.
Oh.
Because I thought, can't you get that show on Comedy Central?
Even I would have got that answer.
So typically, Joe, what that means is, so now Paramount owns the rights to broadcast the show.
I figured that out.
But now what they can do is then sell the characters in development for things like advertising. So let's just say, pick a product. Ford wants to do an ad. Now they can use characters from South Park, but then they have to cut a check to Paramount for the rights to use that.
Have you ever watched a cartoon or an animated series that was so disturbing that you couldn't continue watching it? Just disgusting, disturbing,
Okay.
like make you want to puke, disturbing.
That's my next question. How far can they take this in this politically correct?
Oh, Matt, they cover both sides. They hammer on
they fillet everybody.
Yeah, left, right, middle, religious, non-religious, everybody.
They were the home of the hot Cosby when Cosby was in trouble.
But the best was with the transgender stuff when they had the Macho Man Randy Savage competing against 10-year-old girls at a field and track and field day. That's funny.
Trey and Matt went to the Oscars in 2000 tripping balls dressed in dresses.
John,
that's how serious they take this.
The way you phrased it, too, I don't know what the quote was from, either Parker or Stone, I can't remember, but are they so offended that they're not going to cash the check? Are they that offended?
No,
they're not. Well, I skipped the part about they were in negotiations with Paramount Plus because of the merger, the same thing that Trump and CBS had issues with. So that was what caused all the problems. So they were basically commenting.
Because of the buyout, basically, for Colbert?
The whole thing was, driving him crazy.
Joe, that's a lot of money for the broadcast rights, isn't it?
That's a hell of a cartoon.
1.5 billion.
You would love Cartman, Joe. He is just such a foul, messed up, horrible person. He's just hilarious. Oh, my God.
Any truth to the rumors that somebody's sniffing around looking for the streaming rights for GL?
1.5 billion?
No. Where is South Park on right now today? Could you watch it?
Comedy Central.
Yeah, I watch
Comedy
it
Central,
almost every day.
which is not even a streaming service. That's a television channel, right?
But they also stream.
I could have told you that.
Oh, God.
Everybody streams. Including
Unless you get to a certain age, then the streaming kind of stops.
You're streaming right now, Such, on YouTube.
Joe,
Hey, DA,
think of it
what's
this
the
way.
password for Peacock?
Remember, all I do is stream, right?
Yes.
There's no other way I get TV. I can watch Comedy Central whenever I'd like to.
Yeah.
So
Do I say it into my microphone? Comedy Central?
No, you say it into your remote.
My remote
was the first
But
year.
no, I
that-
have that microphone. I can set it up and say it.
Johnny,
say
does it
right
go
there.
back to? Forgive me if you mentioned this. 96, 97? When did South Park
Yeah,
first
I think
debut?
it was 97. Yeah.
Something like that.
It's 27 seasons,
What?
so I don't know if they went on an actual yearly basis.
Wow.
So
What a run!
I'm going to be casual for the rest of the day right now. I'm going to sit back, enjoy the show.
starting now.
Starting now.
yeah.
I miss Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Have you
Yeah,
seen the stuff that's resurfaced? Because what's his name again?
Mike Judd?
Mike Judge has brought them back to life a little bit on social media.
Well, he did a white privilege thing. It was truly.
Oh.
I was needing oxygen. I was laughing so hard.
All right, no, I got to play that in addition to Ozzy.
Joe, you will argue with this, but I think most of us here would agree there has been as many animated clever series in the past 20 years as there have been normal series.
I don't doubt that for a moment.
Yeah,
So
just
many.
tons of them.
Like Bob and Ray.
Snoopy? You include
Don't
Snoopy
start
in
on
that?
Bob and Ray Reavers. I'll come through there.
You don't know who Bob and Ray were.
I know. And they weren't animated.
So you really need to just forget that because
They were friends of Mr. Rogers.
That's right,
Weren't
Kenny.
They, like
were.
a train engineer.
Johnny, are you
and
done?
The guy in the
I got to get a
caboose.
shot at it, Chris
John?
first. Let me get a shot at it, Chris first. When he talks comedy, it's like when he talks music. So all right, let's move along, Chris.
You really got me there.
Hey,
Okay,
I think
John.
I'm done, Chris.
John, they're
What do we
too
got?
dumb to be insulted. That's the problem with those two.
I appreciate that. I'll throw
See,
me in there, too.
John, did
Not
you
even
have
that.
the Reavers?
Throw me in there.
Reavers.
Hi.
Three of us.
I'm here.
I'm going to ask John this question.
Yeah.
Where
Did
are
you
you?
have Did you have the story, John, of the TSA passenger? What town was this?
If I've been briefed on this.
Who was stopped because her bra was full of turtles.
I like turtles.
That's right.
Whoa.
I did not have that.
It doesn't even tell us.
Were they snappers?
You know.
Well,
They
sometimes.
look pretty good.
They were white turtles, and apparently they're rare. This was this happened somewhere.
Hey, home, I can
It
dig
happened in. Oh, you're right. The story doesn't say.
This is
Australia.
I like turtles.
terrible
Australia.
reporting, but
Newark, Liberty.
no, that was a
International
guy
Airport.
who got stopped in
Oh,
Newark.
yeah.
What it is,
He had
Jonathan?
stuff in his groin.
He
area.
had a groin full of 5-inch red-eared slider turtles hidden
Hey,
in his
now.
pants.
Yeah.
So I take it there must be some medicinal value to these turtles. Why would you risk bringing them in if they didn't have any value and you could sell them? But this woman had 2 turtles in her breast area, and they were wrapped in cellophane.
Back here live at the Waterfront Village with my friend, the zombie, Jonathan. You're looking good. Jonathan just got an awesome face paint job. What do you think? I like turtles.
Thank you.
Kenny, you've been hiding one when you used to go to Vegas, weren't you?
Can we take a time out
Just
here?
one though, right?
Is that a turtle head?
I think. Here we go. Yeah.
This guy wears many hats, just not indoors. Joe Souchere.
Did you ever post the picture about the Lyman giraffe?
Yeah, I did it
You
yesterday
did.
at the end of the show.
All right, good.
Yeah, it was
Thank
pretty
you.
cool.
Wonderful. Well, only because they come to us.
Because remember, I asked for the spelling of Mpumalanga.
I gave it to you, didn't I?
That's right. I also need another spelling before you leave today.
All right. Only because this comes to you from the Traveling Lymans in Marloth Park in Mpumalanga province, South Africa.
Mpumalanga.
Well, but Tom puts in parentheses Mpumalanga.
There's no
I had a
I
little
think you get rid of
Pumalanga
the
last
M.
night.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ouch.
I still got it.
Do you? On this day.
She's got white privilege. Joe, today is July 23rd.
Well, we were somewhat active on this
That's what I was
day.
looking for.
On this day,
July 23rd.
1838, Father Francis Piers, a Slovene priest, arrived at his post in Grand Portage. He remained there for a few months and then returned in 1841 to establish a mission on the Pigeon River. His later writings encouraged Germans and Slovenes to immigrate to the earthly paradise of Minnesota. Boy, he had that backwards, didn't he? On this day,
July 23rd.
Well, on this day in 1851, the Sisseton in Wahpeton, Dakota, signed the Treaty of Traverse des Sioux near St. Peter. Mapia Wakasta, Cloudman, and Istaba Sleepy-Eye were among the Dakota signers, with Alexander Ramsey and Luke Lee representing the United States, with missionary Stephen Riggs interpreting. Henry H. Sibley acted as an agent for the fur traders who had accumulated debts from the Dakota. In the treaty, the Dakota relinquished title to their lands west of the Mississippi, about 24 million acres, for $1,665,000, and a reservation for the Indians was set up in the Minnesota River Valley. Soon, a similar treaty with other Dakota bands was signed at Mendota. Problems with treaty payments would be one of the causes of the U.S.-Dakota War of 1862. I don't think the Indians got a square deal there.
They did
if
not.
I had to go out on a limb,
I can guarantee
I would say they...
the white man effed him over pretty good.
Yeah.
Let them eat grass was one of the quotes.
Yeah. On this day...
July 23rd.
Well, Chris, this was in 1872.
That's a long time ago, Joe.
A mob attacked the Brainerd jail, where two Ojibwe brothers, T.B. Kikishek, Wabi, and Go-Go Once... Those are the coolest names I've ever heard in my life. T.B. Kikishek Wabi and Go-Go Once were being held for allegedly murdering a woman. The men were taken to a nearby pine tree. That makes it sound like there were maybe three to choose from.
Right.
They went to a nearby pine tree and hanged in front of a crowd of 1,000.
Wow.
After the lynching, a rumor spread among Brainerd's residents that angry Ojibwe were planning to attack the town. Sheriff John Gurrell telegraphed Governor Horace Austin for help. 3 companies of troops were sent out, arriving July 25. The troops found the Ojibwe in the woods picking blueberries, and the entire incident became known as the Blueberry War. Our native brothers and sisters aren't coming off too well on this day in history, are they?
No, they're not. That's for sure. They have not.
On this day,
July 23rd,
1924, St. Paul's horse-drawn fire engines made their final run. On this day,
July 23rd,
in 1943, Princeton area farmer O.J. Odegaard was the first to utilize the labor of Axis prisoners of war when he requested 100 Italian POWs for farm work due to the acute labor shortage in Mille Lacs County. Odegaard was forced to pay the average wage for farm work, $3 per prisoner per day, and the prisoners and 40 armed guards arrived from Camp Clark, Missouri on September 5. Provided with kitchen facilities, the prisoners prepared their own food, and in fact, they were such skilled cooks that their guards preferred their meals over standard Army fare.
Whoa.
And out of this came the birth of Mancini's on 7th Street.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
No, it didn't really happen that way. Yeah.
One would think.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
July 23rd.
1975.
I think you said.
No, they're going to be okay.
They'll be fine. On this day.
Are you going?
I am.
July 23rd.
1975, U of M received NCAA letter about a basketball investigation. Well, there was all kinds of scandals.
Was this the fight?
I don't know. Oh. On this day,
July 23rd.
In 1996, J.R. Ryder was traded.
To the Portland Trail?
I don't know.
I believe so.
No idea.
He's the only, in fact, fun fact about J.R. Ryder, he's the only professional athlete in the history of Minnesota who unfortunately had his pipes freeze in May.
Yeah, you can't. You got to be careful.
How did his pipes freeze in May?
Remember, he was late for practice. Yeah, my pipes froze.
He said his pipes froze?
Yes. Yeah.
Wait a minute, J.R. Ryder. He's coming back to me. He was a complete screwball.
Oh, God, yes.
He was late for practice all the time. And
it was, I think it was March or April. He says, yeah, my pipes froze.
He just couldn't figure out the cold weather. I remember J.R. now.
Yeah.
John, look up J.R. Ryder. Is he okay, I wonder? Is he having a life?
He had a couple of run-ins with the old law.
I know, but there's still time to recover. Maybe
he might be up in Princeton working the fields.
Yeah. J.R. Ryder. I remember him now. He was a real screwball.
He won the slam dunk contest.
Yeah. Anything, John?
He was too tiny.
He's 54, born in Oakland.
Yeah.
Let's
the dunk
see
was named the
right
East Bay
now.
Funk.
How tall is he? I don't remember him being tall.
6'5".
Oh, all right.
Is he okay, Rook?
Go ahead, John.
Go ahead.
His last, he was with the Denver Nuggets in 2001, and then it looks like he was going to retire. Ryder refused to retirement at the time, however, insisting he can still play if given the chance.
Could you just cut to the present time?
In 2007, he was sentenced to 7 months in jail after pleading guilty to cocaine possession, evading police, and battery, although he only served about half that time. He said, "It was the ultimate low point in my life. There were no visitors, no one down for me, no letters. I had fake friends. They all left me for dead." In 2012, Ryder announced he was planning to release a documentary about his life. He established a charitable organization for kids called the Sky Ryder Foundation.
Yeah.
And that basically is the last thing on here about him.
Well, I don't know why I always root for those guys to have a decent life.
Turn it around.
Yeah.
You want him to turn it around.
He's trying to get his life right.
And finally, on this day,
on July 23rd,
in 2014, the Vikings announced they will not spend an extra $1.1 million for bird-safe glass on the new ballpark.
That's right.
Boy, those were some great Royce tweets.
That was sports disappointment.
Where he would tweet a photo of a bird, in the middle of Mendota.
Remember what utter BS that was? They made it sound like if you walked around there, you were knee-deep in dead birds. Nobody ever saw a dead bird.
I just saw one crossing Hiawatha.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen a dead bird fall out of its nest?
No.
Okay.
Why would that come up?
I don't know.
And on this day, speaking of the U of M, Joe, in 2011, where were we?
On this day?
Twins game.
You mean the show?
2011. We were at U2 and Joe saw 4 whole songs before he decided to leave.
No, I saw more than 4. I didn't leave that early. Remember my buddy who had the looked like a terrorist vest with
he had every liquid available.
Every little pocket of the terrorist vest had little airplane bottles of vodka in it.
You mean a fly fishing vest?
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly
you call a fly fishing vest a terrorist vest?
No, because he looked like a terrorist ready to pull the cord. And if he did, then vodka would have poured out his jacket.
Right.
That's it for me.
Okay.
It's got to be somewhere.
How about we do this? How about we urge everyone to hit the subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel? That's right. Garage Logic has a YouTube channel, and on that channel, you can watch the show each and every single day. You can also see full segments, video shorts, behind-the-scenes footage. However, it's all there for you. Just search for Garage Logic on YouTube and search Garage Logic on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also, you can subscribe right now for the Daily Logician. That email comes right to your inbox each and every single day, and it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up right now online at the website, which is, of course, garagelogic.com.
Ow!
Boy, oh boy, it is time once again that we check in with our guy, Mr. Money Talk. Josh Arnold is with us once again here in Garage Logic, and now is the time for you to do the same. So do what I did. Pick up that phone and dial 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. When you call that number, you're going to get Josh, and he is there for you for that free, yes, I use the word free, 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And he will always give you the straight talk. He will never give you the sugar-coated advice, and he is online with us once again right here in Garage Logic. And boy, Josh, you've got some breaking news.
Okay, well, just with the little sounds there, maybe that shows a little my age. But breaking news. Looks like the European Union, the EU, and the United States could be close to a trade deal with tariffs set at 15%. That is below the number that had been set not that many weeks ago. No full confirmation yet from Brussels, but looks like we at least have the outlines of a deal. Now, my sense in any type of trade deal with the EU, I would hope that the U.S. negotiators do push for rescission by the EU of their digital marketing tax, which is aimed primarily at large U.S. companies such as Apple, Amazon, Alphabet or Google, Meta or Facebook, Microsoft, and then TikTok as major players controlling digital marketing. I would like to see that law go away. I understand that part of that, the reason for that law is to allow smaller competitors to better compete with the big boys. But from my viewpoint, it's about extracting a lot of money from the big boys that have become dominant, we'll say, in the digital media landscape. And of course, I am a big holder of, I'll say I and my clients are major holders of both Apple and Amazon, so I am talking a little bit of my book. But the EU, or the potential for the EU deal, to me is huge, and maybe more such deals will get arrived at on or before next Friday, August 1st. Meantime, last night or yesterday, Trump cut a massive trade deal with Japan with tariff rates at 15%, and Japan agreeing to invest a little over $500 billion in the United States. This is a big boost for Japanese car companies that do still import some of their vehicles into the United States as opposed to just manufacture vehicles in the United States, and could raise the ire of General Motors and Ford, who right now still have to pay heavier tariffs on products that they're bringing in from both Mexico and Canada. But we'll see how that develops, in the weeks and months ahead. Another big plus for this trade deal with Japan, pledging to invest $500 billion into the United States to develop, plants for chips and pharmaceuticals. That becomes a big win. Another part of this deal is to allow U.S. agricultural products, including rice, to go into China. I think that that's a big win all around. Not to mention, of course, it could set a bigger stage across Asia. Meantime, there have been a few other deals announced in the last few days with the Philippines and Indonesia. Could be very interesting. The market has taken at least the Japanese deal as a big plus and has boosted the market today. on that news. But we'll see more on trade deals over the next few weeks. Not to mention, of course, next week we'll hear a little bit more on interest rates on the short term as the Fed meets on Wednesday. Tonight, both Google and Tesla report their earnings. Google is an under-owned stock, along with favorite Apple, in many investors' portfolios. It's probably one of the cheapest stocks on a price-to-earnings basis and even a price-to-sales basis among the leading tech companies. Focus, of course, is going to be on artificial intelligence and the cloud, as well as YouTube. Tesla, well, focus there won't be so much on car sales, but it'll be on robots and robo cars, as well as batteries. Tesla has been selling some major size batteries to a lot of the utility companies, and many people look at Tesla not as a car company, as I do, but look at it as a leading technology company. But Tesla's stock seems to move not so much on what they're doing, but on what their CEO has been saying. But here's some breaking sports news, because I know I and Chris are big sports fans. Is that correct?
100%.
Here's some breaking news. Walt Disney's ESPN and the NFL are on, we'll say, the 5-yard line for a new ESPN NFL hookup that'll be aimed more to direct to consumers, costs about $30 a month, and it'll be called The Next Era. This could be, should the deal get signed, a huge win for ESPN Sports and also for Disney, as ESPN has been a drag on Disney's earnings for at least the last 8 years. So we'll wait to see with that. More earnings coming out this week. Next week, we've got the Fed and bigger tech earnings from Microsoft, Meta, Apple, and Amazon.
Excellent advice, as always, Mr. Money Talk. Well, you heard him, GLers. Now is the time for you to pick up the phone and make the call for that free 48-minute financial consultation with absolutely zero obligation. And you do that just like I did by dialing 952-925-5608, where you always get straight talk and never, ever sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow.
We will look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.